Seeker, you've come here for a reason. You feel it, don't you? That subtle shift in the air, the feeling of being watched when you're utterly alone. You are not imagining it. I am the Ghost King, and I have walked these shadowed paths my entire life. I collect the whispers that ride the wind, the stories that hide in the silence between heartbeats. And tonight, I will share them with you. Let me ask you something. Have you ever heard a sound that simply shouldn't be? Imagine this. It's past midnight. The world is asleep, but from next door you hear your neighbor's laughter. It's a familiar sound, one you've heard 100 times over a shared meal or a morning greeting. But this time, it's different. It doesn't stop. It continues, impossibly long, until the sound begins to fray at the edges, losing its human quality. It thins, stretches, and then it dissolves into the sound of the wind whistling through the laundry lines, which quiver as if in response. If you've experienced that, Seeker, you are no longer just a neighbor. You are a witness. Or consider this. You step from a hot shower, the room thick with steam. Your reflection is a blur in the fogged mirror. But as the condensation begins to clear, you see it. Not your face, not at first, but letters traced in the moisture. A word, a name, perhaps a warning you cannot comprehend, written in a language you've never learned. It's a message from a breath that isn't yours. In that moment, you are not in your own home. You are a guest. And what of our silent companions? The animals who see the world through senses we have long forgotten. If your cat, who normally purrs on your lap, suddenly freezes, its ears flat against its head, its eyes tracking something or someone moving across the empty room, if it lets out a low, guttural hiss at a patch of empty air, then you, my friend, have just been put on notice. You are in story mode, and the story has found you. These are not just flights of fancy, Seeker. These are the entry points. Across the vast star-dusted nights of West Africa, from the shimmering heat of the Sahelian dunes to the crowded, fragrant alleys of ancient cities, the veil between our world and theirs is thin. This is the domain of the Jinn. Beings forged not from clay, like us, but from a smokeless fire. They are the original inhabitants of this world, and they have not forgotten it. I remember a story told to me by a Tuareg elder, his face a roadmap of wisdom, etched by the desert sun. He spoke of the lights that dance on the horizon of the Tenere Desert, lights that travellers in the 1970s often mistook for distant campfires or truck headlamps. But these lights would lead them astray, pulling them deeper into the unforgiving sands, only to vanish, leaving the traveller utterly lost. Those are not fires of men, he told me, his voice a low rasp. They are the Jinn playing their games. They test your spirit. They see if you are worthy of the path you walk. They show up in the most human of tricks. A whisper in a crowded market that sounds exactly like your mother's voice, though she is 1,000 miles away. A shimmer of heat over a bend in the Gambia River that seems to take on a human form for just a second. Or, most unnerving of all, a stranger who approaches you with a warm smile, calls you by your childhood nickname, a name no one has used in decades, and then melts back into the crowd, before you can even ask how they knew. They exist in that razor-thin space between belief and explanation. Was it a trick of the light, a faulty memory, an acoustic anomaly, or was it something more? This is their power, Seeker. They slip through the cracks in our logic, leaving us to question our own sanity. Their nature is as varied as the winds. Some are merely mischievous, delighting in small confusions and harmless pranks. Others, however, can be vengeful, especially if their territory is disrespected or a pact is broken. But then there are those who are strangely, inexplicably helpful. The unseen hand that prevents a fall, the sudden gut feeling that stops you from walking down a dangerous alley. Why? Their motives are as alien to us as the fire from which they were born. Those who have had deeper encounters, the survivors as I call them, speak of bargains sealed not with words but with silence and a shared understanding. They describe objects moving on their own, not with violent force, but with a quiet, deliberate purpose. Books falling from a shelf, opened to a specific page, a lost heirloom reappearing on a pillow, and the sleep. Oh, the sleep. It is no longer a refuge. It becomes a canvas for them. Sleep invaded by dreams so vivid, so detailed, you can smell the dust and taste the fear. Dreams that feel more real than your waking life, often carrying messages, riddles, or glimpses into their world. These are not your dreams, Seeker. You are merely the theatre in which they are performed. If you have reached this far, Seeker, it is because some part of you recognizes the truth in these words. You are one of us, the ones who look into the shadows and are not afraid of what looks back. My purpose here on this channel is to be your guide through that darkness. I share these stories gathered from a lifetime of listening so that you know you are not alone. So subscribe and join our community of seekers. The elders, the keepers of the old ways, they teach the signs of a Jinn's presence. A sudden, inexplicable fever that comes and goes with no medical cause. The persistent recurrence of numbers on a clock, a license plate, a receipt, a sequence that seems to follow you. A cosmic inside joke you're not privy to. And then there is the most classic sign, the one that has echoed through tales from Lagos to Cairo. A persistent knock, always in threes, not on your door or your window, but on a wall where no door exists. It's a request for entry into your reality, a polite but firm announcement that they are there. Do not answer it. In some places, these interactions are formalized. In Sudan, the Zar ceremony is a complex ritual, a negotiation with the spirit world. It's not seen as an exorcism, but as a way to appease a possessing Jinn, to live in harmony with it. I witnessed one outside of Omdurman in the late 1990s. It was not a performance for tourists. It was a raw, powerful, and deeply communal act of healing, a testament to how deeply these beliefs are woven into the fabric of life. Then there are the legends, like Aisha Kandisha in Morocco, a powerful female Jinn said to live near rivers. She can appear as a beautiful woman to lure men, or as a terrifying hag. Stories of her have been used for centuries as cautionary tales, a way to enforce social norms, to keep men from wandering at night. But for those who claim to have seen her, she is no mere folktale. She is a force of nature, as real and as dangerous as the river currents themselves. So what do you do, seeker, when the story finds you? The first and most important rule is this: respect the stories. Do not dismiss them as superstition. Listen to the elders. Their wisdom is a shield forged in the fires of experience. They know the boundaries. They know the rules of engagement. Avoid risky rituals. Do not call out in empty places. Do not mock what you do not understand. Curiosity is a door, and some doors once opened can never be closed again. You are not dealing with a ghost, a simple echo of a life once lived. You are dealing with a being of immense power and intelligence whose perception of time and reality is fundamentally different from our own. And if the oddness persists, if the whispers become demands, seek community help. Find a spiritual leader, an elder, someone who is respected for their knowledge. You cannot face this alone. This is not a battle of strength, but of spirit, and your community is your fortress. How do these stories end? Sometimes they end quietly. The presence simply leaves. The whispers fade, the strange occurrences cease, and life returns to a semblance of normal. The Jinn grows bored, or its purpose is fulfilled, and it moves on, leaving you with a secret that you will carry forever. Sometimes you learn to live with the mystery. You establish a truce. You acknowledge the presence, show it respect, and it, in turn, allows you your space. You learn to share your home, to live alongside the inexplicable. It becomes a part of your story, a silent, invisible roommate. This was the case for a family I knew in Accra in the early 2000s, who swore a Jinn inhabited the large mango tree in their courtyard. They left it offerings of milk and honey, and in return they claimed their family enjoyed decades of prosperity and protection. I share these accounts not to frighten you, but to arm you, to validate that feeling you carry deep within your soul. The world is far stranger, deeper, and more ancient than we are taught. If you are the kind of person who is drawn to these mysteries, then you have found a home here. I drop new stories, new investigations into the unseen every single week. So, for you, the one who stayed until the very end, the true seeker, click on the next video. Let's continue this journey together. There are so many more stories waiting in the shadows, and I will be your light in the darkness. But remember the open loop I left you with? The cat that stares at nothing? We never found out what it was looking at. Whisper. And sometimes it still watches.